If I hand you a bucket right now, what are you putting in it? Whatever your answer is, just say it. If I give you a bucket, what would you put in it? It doesn't matter the context, it doesn't matter the background. Simply, I hand you a bucket, what are you putting in it? Okay, here it is. Whatever it is, that's fine. Whatever you put in that bucket will then be in that bucket. That seems so obvious, Doc. Come on, where are you going with this? Well, in the same way that whatever you put in that bucket will be in that bucket, the same is true with your mind. If you fill your mind with violent movies, violent video games, violent music, you'll have violence in your mind. If you fill your mind with peace, you'll have peace in your mind. This might seem so obvious. In fact, it is. It's so obvious that our ego often convinces us that we don't need to think about it. We already know that. Yes, I get it. I got it. I know where you're going with this. I know it. I know it here. But sometimes when we know things here, we miss out on understanding them here. It's one thing to bureaucratically check a box and say, I understand this. It's another thing to live by that wisdom. So ask yourself, what are you putting in your bucket? What are you filling your mind with? Because here is an awakening reality. You are the only person in the history of humanity who has unrestricted, unfiltered access to your mind. So if your mind is a place of chaos and turmoil, you're the only one that can change that. And if you seek to control your internal world by trying to control the outside world and change things on the outside world, then you're missing the reality that if you cannot control your internal world, you're going to have a significantly less chance to control the outside world. I want to tell you a harsh reality that what I have witnessed throughout my career, 25 years of working with people, is this. The more you strive to change the outside world, the more you fail miserably. But when you seek to control the only person over whom you actually have control, you, then you can succeed beyond your wildest dreams. It's not enough to simply know that you're the only person who has unrestricted access to your mind. And it's not enough to know that you're the person who rules your internal world. In fact, you have to take that next step and actually do it. You have to take control of your internal world. Now, how do you do this? Well, Lao Tzu said many, many years ago that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So what's the first step? Well, my experiences have taught me that in the pursuit for having internal control, the best first step is to pay attention to what you say, both what you say to others and what you say to yourself. And one of the fastest ways to get to clarity is to use accurate language. In other words, the more you describe things with hyperbole, I can't stand it when this, I can't take it when this happens. That's not accurate. That's not reality. It might feel that way, but that's not reality. So the more you can limit the adjectives you use and limit the hyperbole that you use, and well, quite frankly, the more you can limit your extreme words, the better chance you have to speak not only accurately, but in a way that will give you the most direct path to internal control. For example, if you say, I can't stand it when people do this, then when people do that, whatever it is, think about what you're telling yourself. I can't stand it when. And for the only time for the statement, I can't stand it to be accurate, that means you have to fall over. So do you really fall over when people do whatever it is that you mentioned there? And if you don't, then you're not being accurate. So I'm not talking about infusing positive language. That's nice. That's a great thought. But that's not what I'm going for. I'm not talking about, hey, don't worry, be happy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be accurate. And the more accurate you are with your language, the more direct path you have to controlling your vast internal world. And look, there's more to it than that. And please hear this. At no point am I saying just have accurate language. Just is minimizing. Just doesn't validate the tremendous challenge that's in front of you. It's difficult to control your internal world. I'm not saying it's just do this. I'm saying do this. Do this. But understand that it's going to take effort. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take time and practice. But you are mastering what you practice anyway. So if you practice complaining and blaming and using extreme words, extreme inaccurate words to describe your world, well, then that's what you master. But if you practice using accurate language to describe your world, both to yourself and to others, then you have a much better chance at getting to the internal peace that you're seeking. So pay attention to your thoughts. Be mindful that whatever you put in your mind will be in your mind. And be mindful to use accurate, balanced language to describe not only things to others, but maybe more importantly, things to yourself as well. This is the first step in many. So be mindful that as I lay out this path, I'm not saying this is it, there's no more. I'm saying this is the first step in that journey of 1,000 miles. Pay attention to your words, use accurate language. Let's begin there. Until next time, as always, I wish you much peace.